Hello. Yeah, welcome to another Q&A. Yeah, please let me know how things have been going with your, replicant practice, and if there's any issues that have come up or questions you might have. I'll be here for the next hour to help out and give suggestions. So yeah, we're first going to take a look at maybe streaming mode. So we haven't done that yet. So I'll do that. I'll do that now. Um, Streaming mode is basically an easy kind of setup for streamers to use the replicant virtual camera directly. Um, I'm actually now streaming via OBS, so you can do that as well. But in case you wanted to stream as your avatar in Discord or in Zoom or Skype, whatever you may want to use, you can set up a virtual camera in Replikant, and that will pop up automatically. So let's say we want to stream from this office here. And you can see that this is a similar setup here. You have your scene, your stage, your actor, but now you have also access to some props that you can use, and you have your mocap settings here. So let's say I saw there was a question regarding facial mocap. Most of those VMC apps, they can also use they can also track the face. So you can just switch that on in your VMC app. And the quality isn't as good as an iPhone. That's why I haven't been using that. Okay, let's switch this on. So here you'll see the streaming menu. You have your camera controls, and you also have your hotkeys. So if I press, as you can see, Shift, I'm pressing Shift 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 9. You have several presets of your camera menu, so that's very easy to do. Um, Next to that, the only thing you need to do is press Start Streaming, and that will basically generate the virtual camera. So now you would be streaming, and that basically makes it so that in, let's say I'll take my Zoom here. And I'll do a new meeting. You see that my replicant virtual camera is active. Now, this might be your other webcam. This doesn't switch automatically. I've just been using this in the past because it's quite fun to show the people when you're doing a stream, or when you're doing a meeting. They respond quite well to it. So you basically switch your camera, and now this output is directly into here. So even when I switch the cameras now, let's say, you know, So that automatically kind of switches and works. So yeah, that's how you do that. Switch this off. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Never seem to be able to know if my stream is working or not. Oh, here we go. Uh, let me show you this. Hey Bazooka, connect LiveLink app to Replikant with IP address. Okay, so let me show you that. Well, the IP address, that is something that is personal to your computer, right? So that really kind of depends on what your machine is set up to, but I can show you how this works on mine. So let me, in order to do that, let me take my iPhone capture window, make that a bit bigger. So you can see that better. Okay, so now we're on open a separate window of custom character and other screen. Hang on, let's start with this. Bazooka, can you see the iPhone output here? I'm going to stop my face cap and go to LiveLink. And I'm going to, let's go, what should we go? Let's go here. Okay, so I have my LiveLink open here. I'm going to my advanced UI here and go to mocap. Now I'm going to set my facial mocap to LiveLink, and I then need to pick a source as well. You see that my iPhone is already being picked up here. You can have multiple iPhones and they will all come up with their own kind of name. But let me show you what you need to do here. So you need to set you need to set your IP target, basically. That's the only thing you need to do. You set this. This is your local computer. And that's it. So one other tip I will give, depending on how fast you see, I get a lot of times this warning, device temperature is high. This is because this is an old iPhone. If you have a newer iPhone, you don't have this problem, but with the old iPhones, you have these issues, and it's kind of annoying. So that's why I use this other app, because the OSC protocol is nowhere near as intensive. So that doesn't overheat and that works better for me. But yeah, so in here, you see now this is working. I have my iPhone. Okay. So one tip I was going to give, so if you're not on like a super fast Wi-Fi, um, or your Wi-Fi is spotty or whatever, I would highly recommend to use a switch and put your iPhone directly connected into. So you see, like I don't use Wi-Fi, pretty much nowhere. You see, so I have everything switched off and I'm connected via Ethernet to a small switch, and that basically um, gets rid of any kind of latency. Open separate connected. Okay, so that was iPhone. Then okay, VMC. VMC is very simple as well. Let me switch my other one off here. So what I'm doing with VMC, because in my day I have like a lot of demos and showing people stuff. So I have a laptop that I'm running here that runs VMC and a webcam. That's not necessary to run on a separate machine, but it does work. It's always like set up. So it's basically like always sending data, and that really kind of like helps with me because I need to be able to switch something on quite quickly. But let me start from the beginning. So I'm going to use this app here. I think I shared it several times already. But there's a really cool app called Dollar Smoke app. There's one called XR Animator Pro, XR Animator. There's also apps that can basically pose in VMC and send that posing data. So there's a lot of options. So I'll show you this app now, which is basically, it's called VRig Unity. You can get it on GitHub. All you do is basically switch your camera in. So here's my camera. That's it. The rest, everything is automatic. I think this was automatically set up. So when I go to my body tracking here, yeah, you see that port number is matching here. The receiver port is local, so you can have this, but you can also put your local IP address in. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't use any of this this stuff. So literally that, and so what you then do is like start your camera. So now it's starting the webcam, and I start sending, and you see now here, it's so actually one other thing, you see there's a little bit of latency here, which is totally, I think it's totally acceptable. But if you run, on a second machine, there isn't any of that latency. But this is very good for streaming, I think. This is also different between apps. I think this app is actually trying to correct any kind of flips or anything. But you see that kind of works, and even if I kind of load, a compute heavy scene, let me see, like here, for example, So yeah, remember that. So the source name needs to go to my iPhone. And I'll do my body here. I mean, this is pretty amazing, in my opinion, in terms of compute and everything. This is I'm literally running a gaming PC here, and perfectly happy to stream like this, as you can see. Hey, hey, hey. I hope that answered your questions. Uh, is my inbuilt laptop camera working? Yeah, that can work. The only thing what is nice, right, is to have a camera with I'll show you. Uh, what's nice to have a camera with a wide angle, right? So if you have a camera that is just like here, you know, you'll lose the hands. But you see, I lose my hands here, obviously. So I have quite a bit of room to play with. So if you have a camera with a wide angle, that's fine. If you have it probably in a slightly newer, uh, um, most assets. Okay, wait. Hang on, let me go to the next one. Open a separate window of costume charity and other screen. Yeah, so that's actually. So let me go back to the full screen here. I'm going to make this small again here. Or smaller. So if you want to have like a second screen, you know, you can do a couple of different things. So you can basically do toggle separate UI. So now basically I can take this whole UI off, and I have that whole UI on my second monitor, as you can see, right? So I'll move it in. See, now I have this. This is just basically separate. So that's one way to do it. Additionally, what you can do, I'll switch this back now. Additionally, what you can do is go to Window, and in your edit window, you can say Avatar Editor. So here, I can click, and you see that my Avatar Editor now is, you know, if I want to change the face paint, for example, go to face and you know, take something different or whatever I kind of want to have. You know, maybe I just want to have this kind of eyeliner or something. So that's a thing that can work. You can change your outfits, you know, while you're streaming, whatever you may want to do. And you can place this on the separate monitor. You can do that with several content windows. Okay, switch this back off. I'm using several apps for VMC. I have not tested them all, so I can't really say which one is the best. I see they're all better at like certain things. The one you're seeing right here is called VRig Unity. I changed the cover of a book. We were reviewing a book by holding it. Yeah, okay, so let's see if there's any books in here. You should be able to see actually details. Yeah, you can add just like something to this here. Different material. Let me see the be able to get a user. Oh, I don't have my directory set up properly. Oh, no, there it is. You, this is another thing that you can do is basically just drag a this is a texture just being dragged in. You can also generate textures. Let me see. There's actually a really good tutorial on this that Lucas did. Uh, on our main channel. It should have a texture. Oh, there's yeah, Lucas, that's what am I doing wrong here? There should be a texture here, right? Correct? It's not each asset that basically has that here, because this, I would have assumed that this would have, and I'll need to take a look at this. But yeah, take a look at Lucas's tutorial on the main channel. Please show tutorial how to. Okay, so the VMC is done. Is my yeah. How to slow motion of running, kicking. Okay, slow motion. Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna switch my mocap off here. I'll take this character. And we will add it. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're right. Yeah, so depending on like what kind of asset you have access to the texture or not. We try to prep all these textures, but as you can imagine, like it's a lot of work to do that with assets. Um, so you'll need to kind of find something that that works. But okay, let's take our guy here. So I am adding him to the timeline. Oops. Okay, so now we have two. That's fine, two, I guess. Uh, right. Actually, I'll show it on him. So let's say we have this guy flying backwards because he's already in that position. And this guy you want to kick in slow motion. Um, okay, so let's say do this one here. Now I'm going to add like a fall as well, but to the other character. Okay. So I'm going to switch this upper body and lower body off that I have here. And I'll make a new track. And I will add only the upper and lower body here. So I'll move this back to its position. I'm actually going to make my viewport camera a little bit wider. Works a bit easier. So now your kick here, you know, it's obviously like we want to time that, yeah. So let's say this would want to be like. Now, if I want to slow this down, all you need to do is basically, instead of looping the selection, go to scale the play rate. And now I can slow this down. So you see, now I'll do it really slowly. And you could do the same thing with this one here, or you can kind of, you know, reposition it, slow it down. Because it's all quite high quality mocap, you can slow this down for quite extreme. Do some kind of time lapse freeze frame in that action, and so on. Question: how to is it possible to simulate camera mapping? You mean like camera projection? No, we don't have that in there. Can you please make a tutorial on mocap tracking? I mean, if you look at the channel, I've done like several tutorials on the mocap. Quickly show it one more time. So if I want to start with a clean slate here, I can do new sequence. And then edit that sequence. So now I have two characters here. So I'll add this guy to the timeline. I'll go to my mocap settings and I usually just do this. So let's say we are or maybe I'll just do something like this. Okay, so now I'll press record. And then I'll switch it off. And this mocap is now, recorded, so I can add anything to that. Actually, just a quick note, this is actually quite important in terms of mocap setup. So if I go back here, let's take the other one here, for example. Yeah, look at my hands. I mean, it's okay, but there's a lot of jittering, right? I'll do the same thing with my head. Actually, the head is pretty good in this case. But what I wanted to show you is that I don't have any lights on, and I just realized that. Normally I put my lights on here in this room. So even though it's daylight, it's good to have some lights coming from here to balance this out. So let's see. Actually, in this case, didn't make that much of a difference, but having a well lit frame on your webcam really helps with the tracking. Usually I do this at night, so then you definitely need lights on, but it wants to be quite even. Let's see, here you can see my bedsheet data. Switch that off. So yeah, here you can see how my face is nicely even lit on both sides. Okay. Green screen. Good question. That is like something that we did an initial implementation. I think it's actually taken out. What was in here? Yeah, it's not in the build that's provided because it was not ready. So short answer, no, not ready. Long answer, it's in the works. There's some initial stuff already been added to it. You can do, media, you can do green screen elements just like that, but there's no keying yet. So that is something we do really would like to add, but as you can imagine, there's a lot more stuff that needs to be done. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. So here, for example, you see a book that did have a base color texture. So on here, I could load something, right? So I could load uh, so I can basically load a different kind of texture on here, or I can generate that. Can we import camera from FBX? Very soon. We literally just added that um, for a project that we were doing. That will be. I mean, it's literally added 2 days ago, I think, and we need to test that. Can you help with importing FBX animation? The FBX, there was a lot of problems with. The importer seems to have broken, so I don't know what the status is of that. If you do that, you got to import here, find an animation, and this needs to be an animation on the human IK skeleton. And then on your import, you need to know what the right source is. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the status is of this. I will need to check this. I know that this is heavily being worked on at the moment. But yeah, normally you need to know what the source is. The replicant will definitely work. That's a native format. But these conversions, I don't know what the state of that is. So I think this was, and what happened? Oh yeah, there you go. So that didn't work. Um, I can show you what usually kind of happens when you do import something and where that ends up. Uh, T-pose. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to keep the character in a pose. Um, basically, what you what will happen is that you import something. Let me see if I have something on here. Let's go to the animation menu. So in your animation tab, you have custom, and this is where mocap kind of turns up. So these ones here, they are converted animation. So here you go. You see, this is all kind of either mocap exported from something. But yeah, they basically end up in your custom tab. Oh, so I think this is, yeah, I'm not sure. Stay tuned on that. I will get back on that whenever that's done. Any other questions that I could help with? Actually, what you guys do might want to try, which I think is a very cool feature, we just haven't used it enough, is the virtual camera. So just like we use the free LiveLink app, you can switch this on. Now my viewport is split, as you can see. Now I can go to, where do you see this? Oh yeah, VCam. So you have the also a free app, and this you can run on like a crappy kind of Wi-Fi. Actually, I need to switch that on here. Connect. So you see what you now have is that I am controlling. Can you see that? Let me see. Let me load an environment actually. Okay, then in my camera recorder, I'll show you how to do this. You can basically offset the location. So I'm very lazy. I don't like, actually, well, I am a little bit lazy, but I don't leave my chair much. So I'm just sitting here. So you basically offset your camera, but you could also go and walk around in your space. So let's say I have these two characters here. You know, I can actually go and film them, which is super cool. Let me see, walk around, show you guys how that looks on here. If you can see that. So, oh, it's not. This is not great to have in front of this. But yeah, you see. So you can record this move and play it back. So you have that handheld kind of feeling. This is something we need to kind of work on more and maybe make some presets off as well. Because I do like that kind of filmmaking. That's a little bit more observational. Okay, so and if you're done with this, here you can start, here you can record it, right? So basically recording this animation now. And you can do it directly on the timeline as well. And if I stop now, I can basically play this back. So, and you can get this onto the timeline. Okay. What about export meshes? Shift 1 doesn't work for me. I want to change the camera with this shortcut. Okay, so in the live mode, you have your shortcuts. You also have your basically your hotkeys here. And Lucas actually did a very good tutorial on the hotkeys and how you can kind of use them. I think in here that does work. You can actually set all of them. I want to change the camera. You need to, when you're changing the camera, you do need to make sure that you have replicant selected, right? So if I'm in a different app, in different window, yeah, it doesn't work. So I need to be selected here. And then you can go through all your cameras. Please show a tutorial. I mean, I just showed that from VMC app, so I'll save this and you can look back on that. But yeah, there's really nothing more I can show in terms of these apps. I've shown it several times. Okay, so if there's no other questions, I'm gonna wrap it up and I'll book some more of these for next time. For next week, I mean. Maybe in the future you can work to host people on the stream. Maybe in the future you can work to host people using live link favors. Yeah, you can actually. Armand, one of our engineers, has actually been working on that, and you can basically do VMC streaming, because you can take several sources from all this, right? You can take VMC streaming from a server, and you could have a podcast or something like that. That is definitely, I would love to try that sometime. Um, but yeah, I can also do like a screen share. Yeah, I will do another live one. I'm gonna try and do a couple of more times and then see what works best for people, because I know we have community from all over the world, and I want to make sure that I pick times that are convenient for everybody. And then I'll try to do these 3 times a week. So I'll schedule that, and I try to basically like lock the same hour, so there's some kind of consistency. So yeah, I'll definitely do another live stream like this. Thank you all for watching this. It's much appreciated, and I hope you're having fun and learning how to use this software. All right, bye bye.